is about replacing a failed and corrupt political establishment with a new government controlled by you, the American people. The Washington establishment and the financial and media corporations that fund it exist for only one reason: to protect and enrich itself. The establishment has trillions of dollars at stake in this election. For those who control the levers of power in Washington and for the global special interest, they partner with these people that don't have your good in mind. Our campaign represents a true existential threat like they haven't seen before. This is not simply another four-year election. This is a crossroads in the history of our civilization that will determine whether or not we, the people, reclaim control over our government. The political establishment that is trying to stop us is the same group responsible for our disastrous trade deals, massive illegal immigration, and economic and foreign policies that have bled our country dry. The political establishment has brought about the destruction of our factories and our jobs as they flee to Mexico, China, and other countries all around the world. It's a global power structure that is responsible for the economic decisions that have robbed our working class, stripped our country of its wealth, and put that money into the pockets of a handful of large corporations and political entities. This is a struggle for the survival of our nation. And this will be our last chance to save it. This election will determine whether we're a free nation or whether we have only the illusion of democracy, but are in fact controlled by a small handful of global special interests rigging the system, and our system is rigged. This is reality. You know it, they know it, I know it, and pretty much the whole world knows it. The Clinton machine is at the center of this power structure. We've seen this firsthand in the WikiLeaks documents, in which Hillary Clinton meets in secret with international banks to plot the destruction of U.S. sovereignty in order to enrich these global financial powers, her special interest friends, and her donors. Honestly, she should be locked up. The most powerful weapon deployed by the Clintons is the corporate media, the press. Let's be clear on one thing. The corporate media in our country is no longer involved in journalism. They're a political special interest, no different than any lobbyist or other financial entity with a total political agenda, and the agenda is not for you, it's for themselves. Anyone who challenges their control is deemed a sexist, a racist, a xenophobe. They will lie, and then again, they will do worse than that. They will do whatever is necessary. The Clintons are criminals, remember that. This is well documented. And the establishment that protects them has engaged in a massive cover-up of widespread criminal activity at the State Department and the Clinton Foundation in order to keep the Clintons in power. They knew they would throw every lie they could at me and my family and my loved ones. They knew they would stop at nothing to try to stop me. Nevertheless, I take all of these slings and arrows gladly for you. I take them for our movement so that we can have our country back. I knew this day would arrive. It's only a question of when. And I knew the American people would rise above it and vote for the future they deserve. The only thing that can stop this corrupt machine is you. The only force strong enough to save our country is us. The only people brave enough to vote out this corrupt establishment is you, the American people. Our great civilization has come upon a moment of reckoning. I didn't need to do this, folks, believe me. I built a great company, and I had a wonderful life. I could have enjoyed the fruits and benefits of years of successful business deals and businesses for myself and my family, instead of going through this absolute horror show of lies, deceptions, malicious attacks. Who would have thought? I'm doing it because this country has given me so much, and I feel so strongly that it's my turn to give back to the country that I love. I'm doing this for the people and for the movement, and we will take back this country for you, and we will make America great again.
Hashtag Trump the establishment.
In such trouble. We've doubled our national debt to $20 trillion under President Obama. In less than 8 years, $10 trillion has been added. Think of it. And we haven't fixed anything. We haven't fixed anything. What have we done? Our roads are broken, our bridges, our tunnels, our hospitals, our schools, and we have $20 trillion in debt, all-time high. That's true. Our VA hospitals are in bad shape, and our VA is in very, very bad shape, and we will fix that. We are going to work on fixing that because our veterans have not been treated properly. We have illegal immigrants that are treated far better in many instances than our veterans, and we're not going to have that. School Choice and Education Opportunity Act redirects education dollars to give parents the right to send their children, to public, private, charter, magnet, religious, or home schools of their choice. And so importantly, we're going to end Common Core and bring education supervision to local communities. We do so badly on education. If you look at the lists and you see Sweden, Norway, Denmark, China, different countries at the top, you see us at the bottom. And yet, by far, per pupil, more money than anybody, and it's not even close. We spend more money per pupil than anybody, not even close. We're at the bottom of the list. Other countries spending far less per pupil are at the top of the list. So obviously, our current system is not working. We will change it, and we will make it good. It expands vocational and technical education, which we've totally forgotten about in this country, and make 2- and 4-year colleges more affordable. Have you ever gone to school and you've been with people that aren't good students, but they can fix an engine, or they can build a wall, or they can do things that you wouldn't even think about? Because we can use some of the ones that build the wall. We're going to need them. We're going to need them. We're going to need them. But did you ever see that? How they're genius at fixing a car. They can do anything. But history, not so good. Physics, not so good. I mean, we have to open vocational again. Those are the people. These are great people. The Repeal and Replace Obamacare Act. Fully repeal Obamacare and replace it with health savings accounts. So we can do that. The health savings accounts, it's one way. There are numerous ways, but this is one very good way. The ability to purchase health insurance across state lines, which we have to do because that's competition. The politicians won't let go of it because the insurance companies, they don't want competition. But we'll open it up. Believe me, we'll get rid of that. I've been saying it for years. And let states manage Medicaid funds. It will be so good. Reforms will also include cutting the red tape at the FDA. There are over 4,000 drugs awaiting approval, and we especially want to speed the approval of life-saving medications. I mean, they're looking at drugs that are looking very good, and you have terminal patients that it's over. These people, they're dying. They want to get the drug. They won't be living much longer. and we study it for years and years. At some point, they have to do what they have to do. They have to do it properly. But we have 4,000 different drugs and products waiting in line for approval, and we can't get them approved. We're going to speed up that process very significantly. Affordable Child Care and Elder Care Act allows Americans to deduct child care and elder care from their taxes, incentivizes employers to provide on-site, and so important, child care services.
That is so
huge. You see that with a couple of companies, and it's such a great thing to see. And creates tax-free dependent care savings accounts for both young and elderly dependents with matching contributions for low-income families. So good. End Illegal Immigration Act. Fully funds the construction of a wall on our southern border. Don't worry about it. Remember, I said Mexico's paying for the wall. With the full understanding that the country of Mexico will be reimbursing the United States for the full cost of such a wall, okay? We're going to have the wall. Mexico's going to pay for the wall. Mexico's, by the way, I met with the president of Mexico 2.5 months ago. Wonderful meeting, wonderful person. But I told him, this is a two-way highway, not a one-way highway. We have our people. We have to take care of our people. We have to protect our people. So it's got to be a two-way street. Otherwise, it's going to be a whole different deal.
Trade deals, massive illegal immigration, and economic and foreign policies that have bled our country dry. The political establishment has brought about the destruction of our civilization that will determine whether or not we, the people, reclaim control over our government. The political establishment that is trying to stop us is the same group responsible for our disastrous "you're good" in mind. Our campaign represents a true existential threat like they haven't seen before. This is not simply another 4-year election. This is a crossroads in the history of our is about replacing a failed and corrupt political establishment with a new government controlled by you, the American people. The Washington establishment and the financial and media corporations that fund it exist for only one reason: to protect and enrich itself. The establishment has trillions of dollars at stake in this election. For those who control the levers of power in Washington and for the global special interest, they partner with these people that don't have